Okay. Am I here? Am I back? Hello, are we here? Are we back? Eh, eh. I think everything's working now. Hopefully. Let me see. I can't hear. Okay, I think everything's working. Hopefully the sound's working. Oh my goodness. Hiccups. But Ray, welcome on in. Sorry, I was having a little technical difficulties. But things should be working now. But welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Have a hump day. Hope you've been having a good day and a good week. And finally off work. Yeah, off work. Okay. Let's go ahead and proceed. Yeah. Pew, 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 pew. Oh. Well, shoot. Hold on. Sorry, I'm still testing to make sure the sound is working. Sound. Is the sound working? Hello. Is it working? Hello? Test. Test. Okay, there it goes. Okay, I think everything is fixed. Cool. Okay. When I awoke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last. One that I would remember for the rest of my days. 17th April, 9:32 a.m. The Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. Good morning, Gina. Why is is my camera all wonky? Why am I all crooked? There we go. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. So where's your fan, eh? Sorry? You know, in a fancy dress. Susato, or however you say it. I don't know. Mrs. Sato-san had to leave early this morning. She's already gone by the time I woke up. You alright with that, are ya? Yeah, yes, we got it working, Jada. Forget about me if you like it. Go on and see her. It's fine. It's not as though Miss Susato and I won't meet again one day. Even so. But you, Gina. You only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning, you two. Oh, it's the little girl. It's Iris. How are you feeling, Jenny? Did you manage to sleep? Today is the day Brett goes to vision. Yes! Meow. Iris, what are you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Meow. You just gonna let the cat run away? Ah, Waggy! Great way to show your support, kitty. It's a cat. What do you expect? Let him have a nose around. What arm can it do it? Oh, that reminds me. I brought a paper on the way here. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Bruno? Genie? Well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Are we gonna face against the same old lawyer every time? Is that what the bad news is? Nah, always the good news first. You never know, you live to hear the bad. Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities. Let's not go there. Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move. Huh? The bad news was a weather report? So I hope that Susie made her train to Dover and that train isn't delayed on its way to the port. Gosh, yes. Alright then, so what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecasted to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make it up the time later. Well, that is good news, isn't it? I couldn't give a monkey's really. If only all the good news cancelled out the bad. And look, the trial has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in the Picpus plunder. See? How you know that? Well, how do you like that? Well, let them see what they want and what they want to say. Ah, oh my gosh. Let them say what they want. See if I care. I can't because you're covering your face. Don't worry, Bruno will show everyone that this headline is nonsense. I will. And then in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be Discharged diver is doubtless do-gooder. Isn't that right, Bruno? Oh, yes? Let's hope so. Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it? It's like she was still here. What? That's gonna be evidence? Why? Unless there's gonna be like a timeline thing in relation to that. Collect then, Bruno. I'll do what I can. Obviously, I don't share the law like Susie does, but still. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you morale support and encouragement. I'm not sure that big thing is comforting as you think it'd be, to be honest. But thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you. Oh yeah, Oris. Yes, Ginny? Well, I was wondering is all about Sholmes. Did they fix him up alright? Yes, the operation was a great success. But Hurley still hasn't come around yet. That's a lie. We saw him pop up. He was alive. He was talking to old girl before she left. Oh, but I guess we as the characters don't know that. But the audience does. Eh? I've asked a friend of mine at the Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up. I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news. Oh, right. No, Susato-san, and no Susato-san, and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime. Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel of the defense. The trial's about to begin. Please make your way to the courtroom. It's time then. Yes, let's go. Gina, Iris. Lead the way, Bruno. Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face. But I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from the start to finish. That's the weapon we'll secure our victory here. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that. Ah, snap. Here we go. Are y'all ready? 17th of April, 10 o'clock on the dot. The Old Bailey courtroom. Santa Claus! In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this courtroom to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrange. And I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. Lord Van Zeeks, my lord. Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the public prosecution service? It was some 5 years ago, my lord. Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly. And here you are again today. Are there some circumstances of which the court should be aware that you have led to this erratic behavior? In what one might describe as your former life 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? Yet today you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess I find it more a little befuddling, counsel. There are 2 types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large. He means Mr. McGilded, who you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. And I felt this game music is kind of loud. Let me turn it down a little bit. There we go. Yes, I'm just about managed to work that out. Thank you. Magnus McGilded. If I'd known what the monster he was, I would have defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome. Those really scoundrels who must masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the Filano. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the what? Wait, what? Excuse me? Oh, what? Did he really just say that? He means you now, Runo. I actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? That torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zeek's eyes. Was that directed solely at me? Or was he talking about all Japanese people? An alarming, scathing explanation, Lord Van Zeeks. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared all by London's malefactors. Also, he's mad because we technically defended a guy that wasn't actually innocent, even though we was doing our job, and we did it well. So don't be salty. Your lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant? Former lieutenant in the British Army here. Don't you know chaps like me were born ready? Clean cockery, clean courtry, and clean conscience. His lordship motto is very appropriate here, I think. Oh my gosh, this guy's different. Everything will be status quo in the future. Absolutely everything, and I'm ready for it. I don't understand it. I can't have left in here. It's not possible. But could I have? What? She's not even listening. Women in indispensable society. Stop. Female-centric future. Wait, stop. Good day. I'm visiting London from sightseeing. I would like to take bus by Crystal Tower, please. Okay, not to like be kind of like that person, but is he even from the UK? Is he supposed to be from a country that we will not speak of their name because of what's going on right now? Is that where he's supposed to be from right now? He's using a translator book. Is something wrong, Bruno? Oh, not exactly. It's just I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it's quite strange. These jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know. So I've been led to believe, but something tells me I'm being duped. Very well. Now, Lord Van Zieks, the court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with the word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-efficient case of cold-blooded murder. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get my words mixed up. Cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Wendebrink, proprietor of the pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. Okay. As the court will observe, there's a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in a near-instant death. Moving on to the findings of the Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say. The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord. Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please. Autopsy report has been entered into the courtroom. Let's see, a report prepared by the Scotland Yard coroner confirms an instant death due to a single bullet wound from the back. There are no other signs of trauma. I said I'm still here. I'm reading everything though because I'm blow drying my hair. No problem, Jada. Do what you need to do. Oh yeah, I seen real quick on Twitter. You're dyeing your hair. What? Nani? You just tried to dye it purple? Uh-oh. Did it not turn purple? Because you have to... Your hair was pretty dark, so you have to, like, bleach it first to get it to lighten. Or you're not trying to go full purple. Because the ombre looks cool, too. Are we gonna see pictures of the finished product? Okay. But... Let's see. Crime scene photo has been entered into the court record. Photograph of the victim found murdered in the storeroom. It shows a single bullet wound in the man's back. I now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident Oh my gosh, I'm tripping on my words today. Where the incident occurred. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. And in this windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there was only 2 persons present. The victim and Mr. Windybank, and the accused. Oh. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had a gun in her hand, used to fire the fatal bullet. Well, that's that then. But isn't that the grubby little girl pickpocket anyway? She's one of those filthy drabs that live in the slums in Eastland. Oh well, it's only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands then. What are these jurors waiting for? The girl's guilty! We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. Is he gonna toss his drink at me? My learned Japanese friend, it is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Oh my gosh. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses. Good gracious! After the testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pig purse or cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth. The court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Van Zeeks. At once, my lord. Plan of the Windybank's pawnbrokery at the scene of the crime. It shows the relative positions of the main shop and rear storeroom. A gun belonging to the victim, Mr. Windybank, that Gina was holding when she was found unconscious. There are signs of a single discharge. This isn't good. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Runo. I think that's because it has. Oh, cape's off. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windybank on 16th April of this year. Bam, bam, bam. Oh. What? Huh? Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Names are Nash Lookin. Occupation is a baddie, professional baddie. Not really a professional baddie. What does that mean? Why are you holding fruit? Name's Rangos Lookin. Occupation's same. Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector. That's right. We're what they call... Oh? The 3 skull boat. The sulking both ears. What? Who's 3? Where's the 3rd? Oh. You too, Inspector? What are you looking at me like that for? Don't let me in with you lot. Oh, blimey, that's code. Don't you know what we're going for? You told the brother. Lost contact with him was when we were... Oh my gosh, these Ebonics. So we're scouring every shady corner on the capital. And last night was when we came across you. The very spot of the bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? It is, Nash, it is. First bit of them. So we saw that there would mean what we was gonna do and what we was gonna call you. A crunch. Ooh, good crunch. Big bro Sulky. Come on. Leave it out, you two. Sulky Sulkin? And that's before he runs out of chips. Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson. Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias. What would I like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand. The Sulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, under suspicion of theft. Thieves they are. These three? These three? No, my lord. Begging your pardon, but please don't lump me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these 2 brothers illegally entered an establishment with the intent to burgle. And in that course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. Oh my gosh, hiccup. By Jove, you mean to say? What an extraordinary coincidence! Indeed, my lord. While attempting burglarized the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its propitious murder. Homie so small he in a box. Order! Order! The various trespasses of those brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future. Y'all go to trial for burglary? Really? With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in a stand to keep these gents on straight and narrow. Of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. Mr. and Mr. Sulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question and what exactly you saw. Affirmative. Cause the Sulkins never sulk. Get out of it. What is this weird dynamic? Illegal entry? We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours and Gaff's dog was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign begging for us to go. It was. But once we got inside, core blimey lummy, I had a gunshot from the back room. What you saying? What was what? But the door was locked from the inside. I'd never done nothing to Gunner. No, we never took nothing. We just left after that, nice and quiet. Like, one guy's lying. The way he was like looking to the side and giving like a cheeky smile. A terrible coincidence it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witnesses' testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. But that's all too convenient. We all should know this by now. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside, and with only the victim and accused were found. I must say, this appeared to be an overwhelming simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, and of course, counsel if you please. Counsel? Yes. What's the matter, Bruno? Sorry, I was just stunned at the silence for a moment. By those blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the lack of lies it is. He said, cat! Okay. Because, yeah, this it's all too convenient. I don't know who's paying them to tell these stories, but we know because Mr. Sholmes himself got shot. How did they explain that? Did they not have weapons? Somebody shot him, and there's only one bullet in that gun. So you can't say it was... I mean, you can't say it was Gina, but that means there was more than one gun on the scene. So somebody did something. Okay, we need to look at our evidence. Where's my evidence at? Can I not look at that yet? Oh, no, I can. There's nothing else in this picture. I feel like the pictures never have anything. Nothing in this picture. Okay. What about the gun? Jenny's got a gun. Can't find anything out of place. Nothing at all. Put my dang down, flip it, and reverse it. Is your... Hey, this is Mr. Windbank's gun. The cylinder's clearly empty. Mr. Windbank always used to keep this gun to hand on his shop counter. Yes, but only ever with a single bullet loaded, I understand. That's right. To keep all the pawned articles that were in his care safe. But his one bullet was fired that night, and the poor man lost his life. Was he protecting this shop, I wonder? Trying to keep the articles safe? That's what I'm saying. I feel like he shot his own firearm. Somehow they knocked Gina out to make her look guilty, like she's the one who did it. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of ways for somebody to sneak out. There's a whole like window in that door. Can I open the bullet part? You mean like the spin barrel thing, Gina? Like, that's what I clicked on initially, but let me see if there's any other buttons. No, I read that. Let's see, click on this too. Yeah, that's the same thing. Bottom of the handle. We'll try that next. Up. Nope. Anything on here? Nope. I thought there would be something like hiding in here or something, but I guess it's just a gun. Barrel. Nothing on the barrel. See, this game got you thinking. You're thinking you can, like, there's something hiding everywhere. Well, I guess for now this is just a plain old clue that we will have to come back to. But let me read the autopsy report. Time of death was between 1 o'clock and 1:30 a.m. Reporting party was me. Postmortem finding single bullet wound to the upper half of the victim's back. No other visible signs of trauma. Instant death from the post-anterior bullet wound to the heart. The bullet entered the body from the back on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. So for sure he died by a bullet wound, nothing else. The paper, can't find anything about that. Anything on the back of this paper? Ooh, wait, flip it upside down. Wasn't that one guy in the that's in the juror? Wasn't he in the paper too? Like he was like a mob person or something. Like he was trying to find the princess, the ballet princess. Who is this? There's a sensational story, Laura, down on the front page as well. Look. Ministry Mole, classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. For a 10-year-old, Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of the world news. It's about a secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently, they've been being intercepted by hostile nations. Communications are being intercepted? But how would somebody be doing that? That's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Runo? No, of course not. I wonder. Perhaps this is what Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday. Yes, could be. And it could explain why he has Gregsy running from the pillar to the post at the moment. Okay, I'm a little lost. I don't remember what he was talking about. Lord Strongheart. I don't know what he was talking about. I'm actually a little confused about this clue. Warning paper contains secrets about the government being leaked to foreign agencies. I don't remember him what he was talking about. Okay, that's all that's on here. Anything else? You know, she's talking about she made all these notes for us, but there ain't much notes in here. The temple, so this is all the other stuff we already looked at. Okay, now we're just gonna press about everything. The front door of the Winterbreaks was ajar, you say? What time of night was this? Must have been about 1, right, Ringo? His mouth. Can I say so, right, Sulky? Why are they looking at him? How would I know? Hold on, let me look to the side. The place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in this town. Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true. That's right, Ringo. I'm not sure, Nash. I'm seem to remember a little light burning inside. What about you, Sophie? Me old mucker? Leave me alone. There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place. And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, had already had the muzzle of her gun trained onto the unfortunate victim. That is pure conjecture. Huh, perhaps, but it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of the cold-blooded murder, simply because they found the jeweled victim's establishment open and ventured inside. Right, that's what happened. It was like some kind of sign, big enough for the go-in was. Right. What are you trying to suggest? That you just had to go in? Well, God moves in mysterious ways, don't you say, don't they, Ringo? They do, Nash, they do. Must have been sort of providence, I reckon. God's will often presents itself in the whim of thieves, does it? What no whim, I'm dead sure of that. It weren't, Nash. It weren't. Like we said at the time. Don't just barn doors open in the night like that. No. There's no ways around it. See, he's doing a little cheeky thing. Like, I feel like when he's lying. It was a sign that our lost brother was inside. Liar. They're not very good liars, are they? Well, you can't deny it. I let us the bloke who what looks like our brother. Sir, cut it out. Those chips are getting a chomping today. Once we got inside, blimey lummy. A gunshot, you say? Just the one? Are you sure about that? Yup. Just the one, Governor. I can swear it. It was, Nash, it was. Ain't that right, bruv? The firearm used belonged to the victim himself. Yes, Mr. Winterbank always used to leave the gun lying around in the counter. Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds. That makes sense. Mr. Winterbank always used to say he only ever kept one single bullet loaded. That's true. I remember him saying that as well. Yeah, but there was a whole other bullet hole in the whole shop. Can I present that? Or are we not at presenting clues yet? So we can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used at the murder weapon. Yes, my lord. We can. Lies. And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful. But that's not the truth, because we have... Where is that? Do we not even have that in our, like, records? I bet we don't. That's dumb. Oh no, we do! Aha! We just gotta figure out a way to present that. Okay. You mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. We're not dumb. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there is only one other door. That of the storeroom. Of course there was only a little oil lamp burning. Not much to see, boy. That door was hidden more than a curtain, no? That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door? Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think. Oh, well, your turn, Rabbit Ringo. Well, Nasher, yeah. I suppose you haven't say we weren't, normal. Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination, my learned friend. It would seem is of the former. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night. Thank you, councils. So I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses. Never did anything, never took anything. You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story? Well, it was a bedlam so soon, wasn't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull the ducks up, me look-it. So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say? That's right, Governor. Nothing we ain't. More than violence, peace, love, and nibblers. We are not budglers. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled out me dukes or me little pockets.
Damn, you hit the spot. Taste like candy, sweet like fruit, ooh, wet like water. Can I love on you?
Thank you for the hydrate. I will take a sippy sip. I don't know about y'all, but my allergies are already acting up. I feel like spring just barely sprung and my nose is like, nope. Spring is full in effect. You're back. Welcome back, Ray. How are you doing? How's it going? Allergies activate. Seriously. Like, ugh. Like, constantly rubbing my nose. I feel like my nose is clogged already. My eyes are itching. I just know I'm not ready for it. And I'm one of those people who, like, allergy medicine, yes, helps. But I can't take it if I'm, like, gonna do anything. Because I just instantly go to sleep. It makes me go to sleep. No matter what. Playing some video games before a nap. What you playing? Oh, sorry. So DVD. Are you getting a lot of the Sadako matches, or is people finally calmed down with that? Oh my gosh. Ugh. Hopefully they've calmed down with Sadako. So you'd clearly like us to believe. You haven't seen her in 2 weeks? Oh boy, I guess people are tired of her already. Come again. As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Saints alive! They fired a gun, you say? Blimey, Governor. You ain't telling us it was your doorway. It was. Why the bleed no? Didn't you mention that before? You were armed with a gun. Ray says I need to be number one. Ray, I need to. So I have been changing some things. I need to fix that. So you guys can have berry points and tokens. I'm still fixing the stuff with the berry points. I haven't messed with it since the birthday stream, but I need to fix it. So you guys can have the secret menu stuff. Ugh, my nose. And as you fled from the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Herlock Sholmes. They shot a gun at Mr. Sholmes? I didn't hear that, actually. There was a rumor that he'd been rushed to a hospital. The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of discovery of the crime scene. The suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. A woman searched. A firearm was indeed found in the... So why didn't you say that? You're withholding evidence. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from his brothers. Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. Firearm found in the possession of the Sulkin brothers upon their arrest. There are signs that a single round was fired. See, he's withholding evidence. Why can't he go to jail? Now, my learned friend. Yes? Here's to your successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are the telltale signs of the spent powder on this gun. A single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in its trial. Oh, there's evidence. Well, I don't need evidence. Because I was there. However, the rest of us in the courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast to your incompetence and move on. Evidence that there were two fired the gun before they left. Well, we got the evidence. The court demands all the claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker's shop that night? It's in the blood prints. Duh. What? I can't present that? It's in this stuff. Can I present this? What? The music didn't stop. This is wrong? The evidence is in this portfolio. What? What on earth do you have there, counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do. How arrogantly of you. Well, anyway, we analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in the portfolio. And you claim to have evidence that the court is demanding therein? Yes, my lord. No more dallying then, counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene? Duh. This, bro. What is that? Explain. It's a photographic print taken at the Winterbanks pawnbroker on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not see me, it appears to be the bullet is still lodged there. Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Winterbanks' calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. Sun Scorpius! Welcome in! There's order in the court. But happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Hope you've been having a good day and a good week so far. Welcome in. We are in the heat of the trial. And we're proving evidence. We're providing the evidence right now. Okay. Today shown being the 16th of April, the very day that the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight. But this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th. That's right. And while it isn't refutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. Ah! Ray said he got a drinky drink. What you drinking, Ray? Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zeeks? Whiskey on ice. If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? But you'll forgive me for flinging my hallowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeting on back onto the street. Take it easy there, Governor. You ain't even letting us land in the suit. We're all dead. Well, I'm gonna get him in the details. Tell him, Soapkeep. Set the bloke straight. I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Van Zeeks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would now seem that I owe my learned friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zeeks? As had been established at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, if that shot found its target is Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the perpetrating victim. Ugh. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of the Wunderbrink at all. So that's it. Oh wow. That's it? We have nothing to do with it. We didn't ask, we didn't. That what I reckon. Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget attempted murder. Quite a catalogue here, fellas. We're in for it now, bruv. Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with the eccentric machinery. Eccentric? Says who? Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop. Oh. That's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. What is that console? Bears the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. Aw, snap. 8 o'clock. Okay, 8:30. 9 o'clock. If this man's supposed to be working, where he at? As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim shop, my lord. If I may refer to the court to the plan of the premises, their prospective positions are here and here. You say these cameras produce a print every half an hour. I'm afraid I fail to see. That would help if the anticipated theft conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that that would be criminal lingus, my lord. On the night in question, the witness currently in the stand were not caught on camera. Yeah, that's a bit of freaking free fire track by above. Lady looks the looks looking. What? I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm even saying. It sounds like I'm just speaking gibberish. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin? Eh? Must have just been just after 1, right, Buff? Must have been, Nash. Must have been, yeah. Just gone 1. In which case, minutes before the brothers entered the establishment. What scene might have expect to see within the shop? Let's examine the evidence. Oh? Good lord! It's the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. As the court can clearly see, the accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his store. Quite. One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded.
Electric chair.
Jay, thank you for playing Jail. And welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Hope you've been having a good day and a good week. But welcome in. Thank you for playing that. Yes, everybody needs to go to jail. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel. Photographic print has been taken automatically by the red-handed recorder, showing the scene the short time before the murder took place. Ugh.
Electric chair.
Ray, thank you for playing Jail. Electric chair. I don't believe it. Jenny. In short. Send you to jail. Ray. Why do you need to go to jail? What you do? What you do, Ray? Let me get closer to the camera. Can you see? Ray. What did you do? The accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windybank. Speeding tickets? What? Speeding tickets? I say, my lord. Uh-oh. Who's that? Oh? Wonder if I might put in a word at this point. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a badly bullet to my knee in the Battle of Main Wave in 1880. Don't you know? Decorated it and all that, but forced to retire off service sadly. It's Crescent Man. Of course, metal could never outshine the exploits of chaps like us in the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on the battle of retirement, you see. The battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now, leading this small squadron. 6 men, all good and my guy, get to the point. What is your point? You all go down together. You mark my words. One fall and all for one. What does that have to do with anything? the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? How? Wait a minute. You just went on a whole tangent about nonsense, and then he's just gonna be like, alright, so y'all know you agree, right? That's it? Heh. Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. This is the Gab Scoundrel's position, sir. What? No, it's too soon to make a judgment. Status report in the court, men! On the double. His lordship insists on the promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions, too. I think you'll find the truth as in a clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it. Oh, I wouldn't have left it there. I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, all I can actually remember. Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop. And very sorry for the brothers. They are unlucky. Why does he have a pet mouse? Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her lean in this matter. And answer your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
Of course they all got guilty.
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 It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous. It's leading already. That photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Jenny didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summonation examination. Very well, the court grants permission. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. We shall proceed immediately within the summonation examination. Mr. Foreman, all the members of the jury ready. Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined to the defendant to be guilty. Ugh. Well, Ray, I hope your speeding tickets are cleared up. You let them babies stack up, and then the police really will be coming for you. So, Ray, you're a little speed demon, huh? Speed demon. All the evidence clearly points to the finger of the guilt at this young pickpocketed teen. As a household maid, I should like to see all filthy assholes promptly and rigorously eliminated. I think you'll find that it looks like a photograph in the stereo. Truth will pop out. If I have left in there, I should think there'll be repercussions by now. Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission the verdict to follow. Stop. Why is she using that? In the motherland, we never judge by clothes, judge by head. I'm convinced the brothers are innocent. The circumstances of the crime and the evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively. The storeroom looked from the inside, locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. In the accused's hand, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention this print. Taken from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the belly trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear. Haley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder. I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Winterbank. Which means there's more to the situation we yet to see. Yeah, how about you showed us the rest of these prints? Because you've like been withholding evidence this whole time. You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. The defense's rebuttal. So all the evidence clearly points to the finger of the guilt. This girl's speaking nonsense. You can find it. If you look at the photograph in the stereo, the truth will just pop out. I left it in there. I should think there'd be repercussions by now. Is he talking about if he left the bullet in Mr. Sholmes? Is that what he's talking about? She's speaking nonsense. In the middle of we never judge by clothes, judge by head. My convinced brothers are innocent. So, do you really not think she's guilty? What are any of these people talking about? Talk about it, sir. You're Mr. Natsumi's landlord, Mr. Garib, aren't you? You really must stop meeting like this. Ah, you're the lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn-up for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. Sorry, I'm checking to make sure nobody's making any weird faces. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. Nothing? No reactions? Okay. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? Is he just gonna pretend like nothing happened? I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be suggesting that therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garib's house was the talk of the town after that business. I just moved out and I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tendencies. Oh. Haven't heard the heart to break the news to Joni yet. Bad enough that the old girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You rather did a lot. Not for us, for that dash, certain. I suppose not. Of course. There can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously. Obviously, but honestly, I really wish he'd pay more attention to the trial and less to juror number 2. What? Girl, what are you talking about? Polishing the bench, I see. Again. A maid's work is never done. Not the blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to the market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pig pursers, and crossmen, the scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps? Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals. You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes. That's right. I'd like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rancet's magazine between my duties. He does wonders clean up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. Mr. Shalom's a maid? It's really quite unforgivable. Got a scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. Minor detail is it was at the two brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Solms, not the defendant. A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight. Anyway. Yes. Alright, I shall amend my statement. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should be swinged for shooting a great detective. Okay. And we'll find the evidence in the photograph. Redberry! Thank you for the rating raid! Welcome in, writers! Welcome in! Let me give Redberry a shout out. If anybody in the chat is not already following Redberry, make sure you give her a follow. And welcome in, raiders! Welcome in! I'm Nisi, this is Pooh, and welcome into the grotto, the ultimate hangout, arcade, all arcade, all games, all food, all everything. But welcome in. We are in the middle of a trial right now. Sorry I forgot to say I was lurking at some point, but I still had the tab open for you. I don't know how much further did you get in the game. I think the last thing I saw you were doing, you were being chased by the policeman, and you was like running into the chickens. and I think that's where I had to lurk at that point. But how far did you get? Do you know who the origami, however they say it? I don't like the way they say it in that game. It's so bad. Origami killer. Do you know who the origami killer is yet? Oof, sorry, my news. But thank you again for the raid. And we're gonna jump back into this mystery. No, my nose. So I figured I'd appreciate you. Wow. Hehe. I almost got eaten away, but I got caught by the police. Not getting caught by the police. You said we went through like 2 more tests after the chickens. Like, I've seen this gameplay before, but it's been a while, and I remember what were the other 2 tests that you had to do. Ugh. I like spring, but I hate it at the same time because my allergies just suffer. Ugh. Okay. Okay. Nose is better now. And we said, what do you mean look at the photograph in the stereo? Sorry? What? Don't you know? If you look at the photograph print normally, it looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously. But there's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun. All I'm saying is if you look at the same print in the stereo, it would reveal all sorts of new information. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Ooh, how'd you do? And Ribery says Ethan had to crawl through the tunnel with crushed up glass and climb through electrical okay, yeah, I remember that. Then he had to cut off my finger. You're someone should let me know if you know what movie I'm referencing with that. If anybody knows, I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. I forgot he gets a finger chopped off. All for his son that he's trying to save. Well, it's getting real juicy for you then. But do you have any kind of hints or clues as to who you think the killer is. Let's see. Let's call it a lucky guess. Never gets old. Saying these different medicines into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary. It's captivating. It's high to the modernity. Of course. Oh yes, I think you'll find that the stethoscope is here to stay, giving us new perspectives where we can find and only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. Only it can only give me a new perspective on this case. I might agree with you. What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? Are you talking about having left something somewhere or something like that? Ah, sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon. A surgeon? It totally passed me by. Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors. Oh no, what? Why aren't you considered a doctor? Even though me and my kind were all forefront of the medical science, the real brains are in the field. He said, honestly, I think Ethan suffered a psychotic break after Jason died in front of him, and he's the killer. Ooh. Bum, bum, bum. Well, I will not spoil it for you, so I will let you keep your theories, and you'll have to figure out who it is in the end. See if you're right or if you're wrong. I think that's the fun of it, right? Just trying to figure out who did it. Ah, sorry, I'm like chewing on a piece of candy. What other games did they make? They made Beyond Two Souls, they did Heavy Rain. They did something else too, didn't they? I feel like they've made another game, this company. And that's blanking in my mind what it is. Or did they not make something else? I feel like they made something else. Oh yeah, duh, Detroit. But you said you already played that one. Well dang, do they don't have any more games? Is that all they got? Cause once you play finish this game, then you're pretty much done with their games, right? Or unless they have more. I have a little Detroit Becomes Human kind of costume. I just haven't set that up yet. I have some ideas with that. I said, yeah, that was the first one I played, so I had to play them all because I really like Beyond Two Souls also. I don't think I saw how... So what ending did you get? Because I know there's like... Or what ending did you choose? Because there's 2 different pathways you can go, right? There's like... You go with Aiden or you go with... living your own life with the guys on the reservation, right? Need a quick nappy nap. If you're off by the time I get back up, have a good nap. Okay, Ray, well have a good nappy nap. And I don't know how long your nap will be, but if I don't see ya, then I'll definitely see you around. So have a good nap. See, I chose life, but I should have chosen beyond it. But isn't it like a... So isn't either option not really bad? Aren't they both kind of like good options? Or are there any bad options? I'm having a hard time remembering. I don't know if both options are just good options, regardless of what you choose. It's just spun differently, or what if one is actually a bad option. So what is it that you think you've left behind? Well, that's a little embarrassing, to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. A started thing. Went in through the abdomen. But when I finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere. What? Did he? Surely not. Exactly. Surely not, you say to yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Random spill of hiccups. He said, well, if you choose life, you have to choose which love interest. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. You want to go with, or if you want to go alone. And I didn't know that because of her losing Aiden, she started losing her memories. I chose life because I'm like, well, she'll get to the beyond eventually. Which is true. But Aiden was like, girl, I ain't sticking around for that. Bye. Deuces. So which one did you choose? Did you choose the native guy, or did you choose old boy that she was trying to impress with that came to her house? Or did you choose to live alone? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I have really left the scalpel inside the fellow's belly? No. Oh, no, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really. That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter. That's exactly my concern. And seeing this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. Now, I'm sure I've made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure. I'm sure you need to be more sure. He said I chose the native guy because the white guy she used to work under was crappy to her at first, and I just couldn't let that go. That is true. I'm trying to remember like what the outcome looks like. I've watched like not streamers or like YouTubers play the game, and they like go back and explore all the different options, and I'm trying to remember exactly what happens with, I think his name's James. I think that's his name. Don't quote me because I really don't know. I'm trying to remember what that option looked like for her. I think she was still happy, but I don't honestly I don't remember. But I guess if you're ever curious, you can always go back and kind of like get to that point, or you can like look up like, I guess, YouTube gameplay to see what it looks like. But then I felt bad because I felt that banishing the demon and it kept bothering the natives, and I got the dad killed. Oh no! You killed the daddy? Not daddy. I thought it was just grandma that died. You killed the dad? Oh no! And they forgave you? Not to make you feel bad, but I'm like, they weren't mad. For having making some terrible decisions. It happens. It happens. You know, those quick time events and everything, sometimes they really get a little too quick when you're not expecting it. I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing, but I end up... Oh no! It's alright, it's alright. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I know, like, Bree, whenever she plays like decision-based games too, she always tells me she never gets the good endings in anything. She always gets bad endings. Oh man, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it definitely sounds like you like a lot of those decision-based games. You gotta find some more of those, cause you even played the newest Life is Strange, yeah? You played that too. Decision-based games. I'm trying to think of some other ones that are kind of like that. But none are at the top of my head. I mean, outside of the whole like Man-Me Dan and Little Hope and all that. But I don't know if you're really into like the. You said you're not really into horrors. I don't know if that would be a game you would like. Yeah, I'm not. Or unless you're like into some RPG games, there's some kind of decision-based games in that realm, but. Yeah, that's kind of, it's either kind of like goes into like the horror genre of that or like RPG style games. Ooh, what is this? Dreamful Chapters. Take place in the universe of the parallel cyberpunk futuristic and magical fantasy. Ooh, that one sounds kind of cool. So I don't mind trying horror. So I played True Colors and tried to play Life is Strange 2, but lost 8 hours of gameplay. No! That's the worst. Well, I'm like, I know you said you don't really like horror that much, and I hate for you like to get a game and then like, I don't know how spooks you get playing horror games. If like some people get so scared they don't even like want to finish the game. So I hate for you like waste your money on it and then not be able to get through the whole game. You know? You're contemplating House of Ashes. There's, what is this company? The one that makes House of Ashes and Until Dawn and Man-Me Dan. What is this? It's Dark Pictures Anthology. That's correct. They're also supposed to be coming out with a new decision-based games too. And I don't know, from people who played it, I've heard they don't really like it, but I don't know. If I spend my money on it, I'm gonna play it. True, true. I'm just asleep with the lights on. Make sure you watch some cartoons afterwards too. You be alright. I like watching horror movies and stuff, but sometimes I'm like, ooh, let me put the cartoons on real quick, just so I don't want to go to bed with those images in my head. Like try to like replace those images with something else. Cause I need no demons coming and attacking me in my sleep. Oop, my game said, girl, you sitting too long. We need to ask her about, not that she's gonna give us anything. Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communication with the Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. But now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electric signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds connecting the entire world. He said, I hope you have a good stream. I'm going to fix some food before I hop on Warzone. Fiddling the tab open. Okay, Redberry, thank you so much for the raid again. And I hope you have a good little bite to eat. Because you know we love a good snack around here. And I hope you have some fun playing your game Warzone. But thank you again for the raid and thank you for leaving the tab open. And you know, I'll most definitely see you around. Have a good one. Okay, and thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed? Makes my head hurt just thinking about that. You're well informed, young baby. The cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop. And just when I was starting to catch up. Radio transmission in the future. Stop. Messages carried all over airwaves to the four corners of the globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere electric. Stop. Right. Try not to wear out your fingers. Era of the wireless telegraphy. Stop. Driving technology's revolution. Stop. And people saying inventions like the stereoscope are height of technology. What utter piffle. I can't understand it. I really can't. Oh? Wait a minute. They're just silly toys. Ooh.
Excuse me.
Juror number 3? Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but... What? Do you perhaps have something to say to your juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess? Oh, you bet I do. Say that again. Go on, I dare you. Goodness. Are you talking to me? I think you just might be, yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you, huh? Absolutely. I mean, really. A machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions. Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. You just don't know. Pardon? I think you'll find the viewing of a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. Sort of possibilities. Well, take the crime scene for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through the stereoscope, you could reveal hidden clues you had never been noticed before. What? Have you gotten any, Bruno? Any prints we could look at with the stereoscope? We should. Do we only have the one picture? I don't have anything to compare it to. Let's just say sure. How about this print here? I think it should do the trick. Sure.
Tina, you fat lard, come get some dinner.
Tina, thank you for giving me a snacky snack. I had kind of a bigger dinner.
Damn, you hit the spot.
Hey.
Taste like candy, sweet like fruit, ooh, wet like water. Can I
Love
love
on
on
you.
you?
Thank you so much for the hydrate too. You know my throat is on fire because I'm getting a snack too. The hair failed. Oh no, Jada. What do you mean it failed? Does the dye not work properly? And our little snack we have tonight are some sweet tarts. Because I had dinner. Like, I literally scarfed down dinner right before stream, so I'm not like super hungry. But we can always have something a little sweet. There's no purple? You just made my hair darker. Oh no! You were bamboozled. You were tricked. That's unfortunate. Did you, my hair is weird like that. But does it say, like, on the box that you got purple? I thought it said purple dye on your box. Did it not? It said, not today. You're not dyeing your hair. I was kind of curious. I'm like, cause then, like, your hair's already, like, it's darker. Vibrant purple coloring conditioner. I was like thinking you were gonna dye your hair purple, don't you have to like bleach it first to have something lighter to put the color on? You said you guys can't tell on camera if my hair is a sandy brown. I wanted to do red, but my mom was like, try purple. Purple did not take it at all. But even like a brown color is still a little bit, I guess, dark for a color where you're trying to lighten your hair, right? Because from what I understand, in order to like put an actual kind of color in your hair, you need to lighten your hair first, so that the color can uptake your hair follicles in that state when it's lighter, so that it can be seen. Because then, like you said, all it did was make your hair darker, so your hair is already kind of darker. So it has nothing to uptake. Yeah, this hair is for... This dye is for brown hair though, no bleach. Huh. Well, now I don't know then. I also seen some of those people who get, it's like hair paint. I forget the name of the company, but I've seen like a lot of like natural hair people do it. It's in a jar and like they take like big old globs of it and put it in their hair. It looks really vibrant. It doesn't last as long as actually like dyeing your hair. But, I don't know, it looks pretty cool. Oh, you tried the stuff that comes in the jar? I don't remember the name of the product I've seen, but... Oh, okay. Well, that's unfortunate, because I don't know how people on... Of course, I guess when you do it on social media, it looks like it works for everybody, but... They have bamboozled us all. I hope there wasn't a lot of coin for that. Send them all to jail. Give me your money back. See, I'm convinced all those models have bleached hair. Yeah, that's the only other way they have to have something, because there's no way it would be that vibrant in your hair if it supposedly worked the way they're advertising it. That's a shame. I'm sorry, Jada, that you wasted your time, your money, your efforts. Are you actually gonna like try to have it actually bleach dry? Not like, I know that's a lot of chemical and processing on your hair, but... Or what's the other thing you could do? No, you can I guess you can get a weave. Now if I bleach my hair, I'm sure I'll be bald. Oh no, not bald. Yeah, my scalp too is very sensitive. I had, back a while ago, did try doing, the good old creamy crack relaxer on my hair, and that was the end of it at that point. Because I got a really bad chemical burn on the back of my head. Yeah, because my stylist didn't listen to me when I told her it was burning already. She's like, oh, I'll just finish up real quick. No, ain't nothing quick about chemicals on your head. And I had a big old nasty chemical burn back of my head. Pretty much all my hair fell out. He said, oh, true weave. Yeah, get you a weave, get you a little wig. Something. I feel like most people don't do, people still do weaves, but I don't think it's as popular anymore as wigs now. Seriously, and I was so sad because it's like she's a stylist, but also she was like a family friend too. I'm just like, how could you? How could you? I'm just a kid. You burned all my hair off and you ruined my scalp forever. That's for another thing too. I don't think it's healed back there, but just anything, it rubs wrong on my scalp and it's like instant irritation now and forever. The struggle. Let's struggle. Oh, you can also do crochet hair too. If you find you some little crochet hair, if you don't want to do like a weave or a big crochet hair is good too. Okay. Alright then, journal number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 sustainable photographic prints? Of course I can. Very well then. I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all. I don't have another print. I need more. How do I get more prints? Will he get mad if I give him the same print? Wait, sorry. What do you mean one more print? Oh dear, dear, dear. Don't you have these in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? Bruno. What? You need 2 photographic prints for the stereoscope, remember? Yes, I remember. I remember. I just thought I could get away with it. You know, one for the left eye, one for the right. Oh yes, I remember now. But the print we have from the pawnbroker is just a normal photograph. No, I think you'll find that the clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints. Thanks for the friendly explanation. Well, if you obtain another print at some point later in the trial, you can always show it to this young man then. I think you'll find that know-it-all expression really starting to annoy me. Let's get back to on track, shall we, Kanzu? Okay, who's gonna give me the print though? Always need another shot from a slightly different location. We can see the scene in 3 dimensions. Who's gonna give me the shot though? Please tell me you're not Ivan Bolshevik, the Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary? Duh. I believe there is such a rumor. It's just a rumor. As you see, I am unfortunate appearance. I look like vicious criminal. Your words, not mine. Just want to point that out. People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat. And which glove fits? Good day. I'm visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take the bus by the Crystal Tower, please. So he's not gonna answer the question. Right, that didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like vicious criminal at all times is very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for my brothers. People say that criminals are only because of how they look. The Sulkin brothers? Duh. Maybe they went inside the pawnbroker's shop, but they have not done anything wrong. That is all I want to say. The Sulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night. Alright, well, first of all, that's one not so little misunderstanding I need to clear up right away. Tell me something, Iris. What is it, Reno? The jurors are chosen at random inhabitants of the London town, aren't they? Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary? I wish I knew. Uh-oh, why is my stream becoming unstable? Hopefully it's not lagging for you guys. Of course, all kinds of hot mess happens tonight, right? If I can't change the mind of more than half of these 6 jurors, the trial will be over. But you know that Jenny would never shoot anyone. Yes, so we need to find contradictions in which these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. I must be ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them that Gina's innocent. Alright, we don't have much clues here. Let's see. What do we have left to look at? Is there anything in this picture? Anything. 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm a talking. Dun, dun, dun. There's that kitty cat print. But there's nothing in this picture, okay? What about the gun? Jenny's gun. So, there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of these revolvers, 6 cylinders. Yes, which tells us that only a single shot has been fired from it. Exactly. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yes. It happened almost as soon as we walked in through the Winterbank's door. I'll make those brothers pay. Okay, that didn't tell us much. There's gotta be some type of hint on here. We can't just be looking at these guns for no reason. Blah blah blah, same old thing, same old thing. Maybe here. Nope. Beep 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 beep. Upside down, dancing on the ceiling, inside out. I don't remember where I heard that song. It's in a movie. And there's nothing on these revolvers. Why is there absolutely no clue? Why would they give these to us to look at with no clue? I feel like there's something I'm missing. Can I like pull anything? Nope. I can't pull anything. Oops. There's nothing to pull. Question. Can't touch anything. Can't pull anything. Oh? Oh, that's the same old cool. Same old, same old. Yep. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's the problem though. All the clues that we've gotten don't seem to provide any new insight on anything. I need more pictures. The brothers are discovering the Earth is your swing for shooting the great detective. Oh, I need to pin. He's saying that they didn't do anything, so let's pit her. Pit her to him. Right? Oh yeah, the music stopped. Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Good lord! Gonzo, explain yourself. Oh my statement's contradictory. Juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick, I have mouse. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Sulkin brothers fled from the scene of the night in question, they fired a shot from the revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand. Surely, you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear. Abdomen. Sir? Sorry. My English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't just hear? Forgive me, I did not hear. Ugh. Here's word abdomen. Part of person's body containing stomach and vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker. Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again? So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying? They said before, we never done anything, but truth is, they shot detective. Ugh, this is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Lie is wrong, especially when lie is said by a person who looks like a criminal. Coming for you? That seems surprisingly prejudiced. This means, when they said we never shot nothing, maybe it was also a big flat lie. Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough. I trust no one now. It's not the mouse's fault, sir. I must see with own eyes. I must investigate a crime scene myself. I'm afraid that won't be... Yes, it is, Reno. Easily. Sorry? With the prints from Haley's red-handed recorder. Ah. If you compare the print to the pictures Jenny and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see this straight away if anything was taken or not. Cooey, Mr. Prosecutor? Calling there on the prosecution in the middle of a examination of times. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim, the accused, moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Sulkin brothers entered the shop and suddenly heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the Bliss flight. So, this was the taken after Haley was shot then? As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken. That does seem to be the case. I can't notice anything obviously missing in the second print. So, the brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot men, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. You're right, I did not understand the situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it's very important to continue the trial. Hey, we got the one man down. Yay! Well done, Bruno. The balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying than I can use to expose the truth. And if I can do that, we just might turn the situation to our favor still. Thank you, Counsel. Continue with the examination. And kindly hand that new photographic print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence. Okay, now we can finally tell old boy about the photograph. Another photographic print in the courtroom. I wonder if we can make... Yeah, we can. I know what we're gonna do with it. Yeah. Okay, back it up. Oop, what did he say? In the lake of lies, many dead fish. We must find the truth before I may say not guilty verdict. Okay, sir. We do that. So can it really show up in new clues though? Don't know unless you try. Yes, let's try that, please. Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can. Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to just give you one more print, and I'll amaze you all. Alright, journal number 3. Here's your other print. Wait, sorry. What do you mean, one more print? Wait, I gave him the second print. Did I not? No. I swear I gave him the other print. No. I for sure gave him the other print. Bro, what? Okay, can we... Am I tripping? Okay, take this print. Blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Okay, take this print. There we go. I don't know why I didn't do that the first time, right? That's what I did. Alright, these two prints were taken within the same camera in the Weetabix on the night in the question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. The left and the right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in positions of some objects. Then when your brain merges the two images together inside of your head, it notices the shift as if it were depth. Yes, exactly. It's that small shift between the set objects in the two pictures that really is important. So what happens if you use two photographs that are exactly the same then? No. Obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not foreseeing the scene three-dimensionally anyway. Oh! Of course I see it. I think the young girl has discovered the secret. I have. Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me? Have another look at these two pictures from Haley's camera, Runa. Go on. Okay, now we're playing. What's those puzzles in the books called? Spot the difference. There you go. Can you see there's a really obvious difference between them? Of course there is. There are two people in the first and no people in the second. Well, yes, you can see that straight away, but now try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions. Alright, I'll give it a go. So to start with, you'll need to cross your eyes and then try to make the 2 pictures over. Are they really trying to get me to cross my eyes right now? Because I don't want to do that. Kill Brett! Let's see if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pins from each picture overlap in the middle. Is the game gonna do that? Because I'm not trying to cross my eyes for real. Wait. Well, did you manage to see it properly, Runo? You tried and hurt? Oh no, Jada! I was trying to just like spot the difference, but I don't really like... I didn't see it, but I want to say I did. What's going on with these 2 pictures? Oh? Some of the things in the counter they just sort of jump at you. Not the juror himself doing it too. I mean the judge. Yes, that's it. You see? That's the other amazing power of the stereoscopes. Other amazing power? Someone going to explain this? Black magic, eh? Why the deuce do some of the things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that, I think you'll find that it's considered the basic principle of the stereoscope. You will answer your question. Basic principles of the stereoscope. As I said before, if you try to look into identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's a slight shift in the position of the certain objects that lets you see the pictures three-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance it seems like the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures, this shows that actually there may have been a slight shift in their positions. I'm still not seeing it. Yes, there must have been. Now hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of the whole cross-eyed mind business now, I see. But why the devil does a shift between the two prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master. What? Me? I haven't the first idea. You know, Bruno, it's quite simple. It is? Just think it through, step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 o'clock a.m. Then, 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But the position of some of the items on the counter appeared to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Zonkers! Someone tampered? New information. Stop. Not mentioned in the testimony so far. Stop. Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this simulation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question is now clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom? Are you suggesting that we might know? Of course. I can tell you right now who is responsible for the almost impeccable shift in the items on the counter. Oh, are we gonna blame the brothers for this one? You can only blame one at a time? Who are we blaming? Yeah, like I want to blame the brothers, but you can't blame them because you can only choose one, not two. But they also said that they didn't take anything. So are they trying to say that Sherlock Holmes did it? Because I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. This one's not sticking to me very well. Unless you're trying to say that the inspector did it, but that doesn't make any sense either. None of this makes sense. Sorry, the dryer's going off. Okay, click Nash. It's gonna be wrong. It was the witness curling the stand. The Sulkin brothers. Wait. This does not agree with what the brothers said in the testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull dukes from their lucky lockets. My phrase book says dukes is meant in hands, and Lucy lockets is me in pockets. He said, I'm not sure. Yeah. We'll see if this is the correct answer. But this is Another lie? Is this what you're saying? Yes, I'm afraid so. Now hold on there a minute. You can't be sure of that. I quite agree. These accused is a common pig purse after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal. I think that's unlikely. And why exactly? As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It seemed, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windbreak to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interests lay within the storeroom, not the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Sulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony. But the accused is a pig purse, common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here? Because the Sulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No better, in fact, than the pig purse. I believe these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket. Would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves? Well said. I, for one, would like to hear more from that shady bear. Can he just like take off his sterile gloves? They're not sterile anymore once he leaves the hospital. Can you all see? I think you find stethoscopes aren't a plaything. You see the extraordinary potential firsthand. Just because we played with your stereoscope, you're gonna switch your verdict? Okay, whatever works, sir. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Let's purchase after trial. Stop. We return home via Regent Street. Stop. I didn't take that much convincing this time. Well, it would seem this trial is yet to run its course. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call this examination to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. To lean guilty, or lean not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. And I order this trial to continue. Yay! Well done! Oh, by the way... What? You should hold on to this, Bruno. You never know when it might come into use. Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely. But alright. Now she gives us that. The stereoscope has been entered into the court. I honestly don't still see the clue. Like, it says that something moved in that picture, but it still looks the same. Lord Van Zeeks. You instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them. I hate that she calls her Bruno. I know it's like, I know you're a little kid, but you can at least learn his name, or call him call him something else. Don't call him Bruno. Call him his last name. I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. You're only letting her slide because she's a little kid. That's about it. The rest of these folks, no. Oh, jail, all of them. We're going to slide because she's a kid, and we know that her dad is dead, and we just haven't told her. It's bad. We didn't tell her her daddy's dead. She made up an entirely new name. That is factual. But we're only letting it slide because we know her daddy's dead. That's it. The rest of them can go to jail. I've won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities at night at least. And I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Jin is innocent. To be continued. Bing, bing, bing. Oop. What up? Alright, we're gonna go a little bit further and then see how far I can get before we go for the night, ladies and gents. Order, please. Let's resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. See, I can't get over Brett though. Her story. No, that's what I'm like. I feel like this is the final chapter. All loose strings and anything that's been left has to come together at this last chapter. There's no way they're going to end this game without her having her just desserts of being served justice. Because if that's the case, throw the whole game away. It better not end like that. I presume you're the defense counsel examination. Yes, Governor. I did, Gov. I did. Yeah, she came and acted the fool. Exactly. And she's supposedly here. This is her country. We're on her soil. So she needs to bring that booty here, girl. Mr. and Mr. Sulkin. Cool, blimey! This is going to be hard work. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Winterbrings. It was a bit sooner, wasn't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't have time to pull my ducks out my little pockets. However, that was a lie. You brothers. Go blimey! On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. Maybe not the entire case, but something. Seriously, I feel like there has to be some piece, something. Somehow she's gonna be roped into this somehow. If not, like, we're gonna either tell Iris that her dad is dead, and then she's gonna take revenge on Brett, because we're gonna tell her who did it, and we know who did it, and she got away with it. And Iris is gonna be like pew pew pew, and Brett's gonna be gone. Exactly. So I feel like we're gonna like tell her, and then she's gonna be like, who did it? And we're like, Brett did it. You gotta find her. Pew pew pew. We never did nothing of the sort. Oh, how do you figure that out? Yeah, get your stories together, you guys. Your brother just told on you. You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what had happened on the night in question, and this time you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. Yep, perjury at its finest. A thought worth pondering, perhaps. Say no more, Gov. We hear ya. We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll preach. Will you though? Alright. We did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling or nothing. It was when we earned the gold shop, you see. It made us both jump and stuff. We went flying. They work for Brett. Lummy didn't have off to give me a fight. We was thinking that the shooter came from the door and get us sticks. Stuck with everything back and well, we found it and scampered straight into the black. Oh my gosh. Couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We've never had a chance to did we? What? That story makes no sense. So you admit the defense accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Winterberg's countertop on the night in question. Not ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash, that's right. It's more like we tidied it up, yeah? Why would you tidy up if you're scared of getting shot by somebody? What would you tidy up a place for? Lies! Stop lying! Sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made their good mess. The way you say it is oddly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. Can't make us sound like a bit more cutthroat. It can't just be a coincidence that these men showed up at... Unacceptable! Jada. Not gonna lie, that got me just a little bit. Caught me off guard. But thank you for playing that. Can't just be a coincidence that these men showed up at the Winterbergs that night. No, don't be sorry. I wasn't expecting to catch you off guard. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye, I'm sure of it. Why you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. If that's the case, then why didn't you just testify to the effect in the first place? Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clingy, are we? No reactions? We ain't, Nash, we ain't. Or we mad at something like that, the people think we was up to no good. Well, said Ringo, me old China, we'll only land ourselves into more trouble. And in fact now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landed yourself in even more trouble. That's rotten luck. Says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses? Explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter? We never ransacked nothing. Right, Nash, right. More like we tidied up the place. Even that, I feel like the prosecutor doesn't even believe them anymore. Sorry. It's the fact that they keep saying they tidied up the place. Like... So what you're saying is... Seriously, like the way he was looking at them, like, you guys need to shut up. Stop answering the questions and stick to the story. The sound of the gunshot shocked you so much, you knocked all those things off the counter? Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. The big old nerve seemed to learn to keep its shirt on. Look, it was loud, alright? Blimey, me dad to granny would have woken up in that bang. Big bro, it seemed a blooming baby fall over on the counter. Knocked over a load of books and a candy stick and some school whatnot. Got tangled in some knot. And knocked over a picture frame. What knocked the scales on the floor. You've really mastered working quietly then. What a racket, my granny would have been scared back then in the grave with all that clatter like that. Why are you sweating though? So, in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. And then some. If I mean, it was quiet as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, bam! Ooh. Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add? Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. No, something to add about their testimony. You seemed to react just now at what Mr. Sulkin said. Did it make you think of something? It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it only. Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the details. How about you just tell us what's on your mind? Out with it, Inspector. As you know, I brought these fellas in the yard for a questioning last night, and the statement they gave us told a slightly different story than what they're saying now. Ooh. Did it? You claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot. Might have, Gov, might have. Does ring a bell now, don't you mention it? Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help feeling that perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, huh, fellas? If I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it is hereafter proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest of punishment to the bear against him. Easy, easy. Well, get it right this time. Get it right this time? That's it, yep. It's all coming back to me now. Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details you have miraculously returned to your questionable mind, sirs. Right, you all, Gov. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!" The police was holding a gun, so should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Wait, what? He was holding the gun? You're saying that Mr. Winterpink had a gun in his hands? Oh yeah, but that was Cider. The two of them waving the guns at each other. Must have got pretty heated. I mean, just before he shouted out, we heard the geezer say, "If you don't want to get shot." Didn't really sound like it. He meant it, mind. More of an empty threat, you say? Mr. Winterpink was known to keep a revolver at his shop at counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That's someone being himself, of course. Good grief! Extraordinary devotion indeed, if loving misguided. Well, sadly, sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger on the other night. Only the person who was gonna shoot him beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper. But he wished he squeezed the trigger instead of wasting the time shouting, "Give me that gun!" It was directly after those words you heard the gunshot? It was more or less the same time, Gov. "Give me that gun!" Bam! That's not right. Kind of thing. Yes. Career in acting very tragically missed. That's where we heard sound of old hitting the deck. Before everything went dead quiet. After that, we then slapped the slam dash the job of tidying up the place. Look at their faces. They're ridiculous. Let's see. Lemmy didn't give enough of a fight. We was thinking the shooter would come out the door and get us next. So, if by their theory, if he said, "Give me the gun," and she shot him right afterwards, he would have been shot in the front, not the back. So, that doesn't make any sense. The coroner never said the gun went through, the bullet never made it all the way through his body. So, somebody's still lying. That doesn't make any sense. But we're gonna keep pressing for more clues. So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? None of your life. It went deadly quiet after that. It did. Put the wind up right up to me. But anyway, the door was locked. Wasn't it? The way it was open. How do you know it was locked if you didn't touch it? Yes, of course, it was locked from the inside, or so we've been led to believe. It was, Gov, it was, from the inside. How do you know? Right. We have no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we? Unless there was some other way to get the view of inside the storeroom. Like through the keyhole, or perhaps a spy hole? Don't ring no bells, no lights, no lights. We had to cut a run before we noticed anything like that. We're still cutting our teeth in this game, see? But one day, we'll really cut the mustard. What does that mean? I don't get it. Please, cut it out. But as we know, behind the door was the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away. I am Confucian. I don't know what that means. Yes, unfortunately. Gina was in there, unconscious, with the gun in her hand. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom? Neither one of you needed to set foot in the storeroom. That's right, Gov, that's right! Could have if we wanted to. But if you guys didn't touch the door, and you didn't know if it was locked, how do you know it was locked to begin with? We stuck everything back where we found and scampered it straight into the block. Yes, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. Oh, we was a bit hasty there. We was, Nash, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when your lock turned up. If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand. Good advice, miss. Good advice. Truth be told, me mind went totally blank. Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Oh, she coming for their necks. Minted up maid, miss. After that, we legged down the street, but apparently we looked dodgy to the culprits somewhat. So they clapped the derbies on us while we were walking. And afterwards, you had been handcuffed. The police found this revolver in your possession, correct? Well, yeah. You're lying! That's not your gun! But listen, that proves it, doesn't it? Couldn't have shot the pawnbroker. We had a chance. And why should we believe that? What? Well, cause it's true, isn't it? This place probably was empty when we went in. And at that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to the open door by the accused who has a gun in his hand. Excuse me. In other words, on the night in question, these two witnesses never even laid eyes on the perpetrator of the pawnbroker, Mr. Winterbank. Correct? You got it, mister! Down to a T! So the Sulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Winterbank? Is that really true? I wonder. That's it, it's a full extent of their testimony. What is it, Reno? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired. Oh, thank you. I'm fine. Be such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something important. It's not more than a feeling, though. It's no proof to support it. Well, feelings can be very logical at times. Sorry? People's expressions, the movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You can take that all into your brain and go quietly analyze it up to come with a feeling like you described. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about the testimony without even knowing why. That's all. I think you should trust your instincts. Iris, thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. Alright. Now to view things over. I'm trying to think back. Where is... We can look at the transcribe logs. I can use this properly this time. So, how far back does it let me go? That's the question. Oh, so it doesn't let me go back too far. Darn. Let's took everything back where we found it. Where's the pump on your shotgun? Oh wow, it doesn't go back that far? Shoot. I should believe that because it's true. This is totally empty. I'm gonna be forced to open the door by a accused who already had the gun to his head. How would they know that the gun was to their head if they didn't supposedly see? Shoot. I don't want to have to go through everything again. Is there anything additional here? Ooh, is there anything hidden in here? She gave this to me for a reason. Bex! Welcome on in! You have to pop your 2 prints in here to start with, you see? And then when you look through the eyepieces, you can see the image in 3 dimensions. Trial time! That is correct. The important thing is to get the right position of the 2 prints. I don't know who came up with this idea of a stereoscope, but it's really quite fascinating. Okay, that didn't do anything. Can I open it? Aha! Ooh, look at that. It's totally changed shape just from one little button press. Thanks for the band, Bex. Am I feeling better? I am. I don't know why I was having such a bad dizzy spell. Literally, like the room was spinning, and I'm like, oh, I can't sit up. I was feeling a little bit dizzy today, but not nearly as bad as Monday. But thank you for asking. I hope you're doing okay. I know usually at this time of night, usually you're having your own kind of battles with sleep and pain, but I hope you're doing okay. Let's see. Well, that is what button's for, Bruno. You're just like Hurley. You boys love pressing buttons, don't you? Especially if you don't know what they do. Vertigo? Yeah, I do have like mild vertigo, and sometimes I don't know, like I don't necessarily do anything to aggravate it. It just blindly happens. I don't really get why. Especially when I'm like driving, that's where it scares me the most. Because like I'll just like start feeling like the room is spinning while I'm driving. I'm like, no, this can't happen right now. I'm trying to get home. I don't need the room to spin. But yeah, but I'm okay. Sometimes I don't know. I guess I just need to rest and let it go away on its own. You should get it checked out. I have had it checked out before in the past, and the doctors told me that they couldn't really do anything about it, which is annoying. I feel like that's always their answer to things. Like if it's like if it's inconvenient enough in your life, but it's not consistent, they're like, well, sorry, I can't do anything about it. Just live with it. You'll be alright. Us boys, says a 10-year-old girl. Anyway, now you see that it really is a stereoscope, can't you? Yeah, I can see. Is there anything else in here? But how are you, Bex? How are you doing? How's your week been going thus far? And can I do anything else with this? And thank you again for the other band. I don't think there's anything else in here I can click on. Yeah, that's the extent of this thing. It sure is. Alright. Did we just do all this for nothing? I'm trying to figure out, so we're cross-examining the witnesses right now because they're lying. They always lying. We already caught them in one lie. Now we're trying to figure out what exactly I need to pin on them again to get them caught in another lie. Because their whole statement is just bogus. But I'm trying to figure out what exactly I need to pin on them to prove that I'm right. You heard a voice. Book owned. Place was holding a gun. So he just fired and he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. I mean, if it didn't have given me a fight, I would have thinking the shooter would have came to the door and got us next. So work is super busy at the moment. Worked 9 hours yesterday on campus. Oh, so you're back to working in person now. It's now I'm in so much pain. Oh no! I'm sorry, Bex. So are you guys back to like full-time working in person, or are you guys doing like part-time stuff? Well, I hope your pain meds kick in soon so you can relax. Assuming that you took some. Well, that's good that you guys don't have to go back full-time. And that's probably a lot easier on everyone if you can stay remote. 2 days this week on campus. Well, how's the weather for you guys? Is it starting to look like spring for you all? Or is it still just gloomy days and rain? So alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. I don't remember all what they said, but I need to... So I'm not gonna read everything, I'm just gonna like fast forward through what they said. It said sunny, but still cold. It was sunny here yesterday, and then it decided just to rain all day today, so... we got like a taste of sun. It got up to like 70, and I was like, whoa, that's nice. And then it went back down to like 50 something today. I'm like, ah, no. So testify in the first place. We're not squeaky clean. Fact now, a result of lying in previous testimony. So I read all this already, but we're kind of like skimming through to see what exactly I need to press them about. It's rotten luck. It says a rotten apple eater. When it says explain your actions to the court, why did you... We never ransacked nothing. You cleaned up the place. That's the part that I'm like, the prosecutor keeps looking at them when they say that, but I'm like, what did you do? Bum, 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 bum. What's the difference? Like they said this stuff's been moved. The lamp is broken. What else is different? The lamp is broken. The book and the pen are still there. The dog picture is still there. Oh, but we did see evidence of broken glass on the floor in the crime scene, so that makes sense. I can't see what else is missing. In fact, you heard the voice of the gunshot almost simultaneously. Did good, we did. Though, I suppose if you've been on... Okay, I think this is where I wanted to say that there's no way he could have got shot. Because he would need to have his back turned to her. Kind of wavering voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun. Bam. kind of thing. Can I not press them? I can't press them with that? Of course we could tell. From the other side of the door behind the counter it was. From the storeroom where the victim was found dead. Granny life it was. So that would mean you both knew Mr. Winnerbake and the sound of his voice. Oh wait, what? Did I miss something? This is something new. What? So that would what? What? Nash, what? Any ideas? Yes, Council, indeed it would. I thought I had read this part. How come this is new? We didn't know the geezer. How am I supposed to deny it when you bloke in all the fancy club are giving us the eye? If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true. On me Grammy's life it is. On his granny's life it must be. It's a good job his granny's dead. To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear a gunshot, causing you to stumble, upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor. It make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget we tidied up like a good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it, holding a gun and should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. So I want I need to present something. Mr. Winby had a gun in his hands. But the picture doesn't show that. They're saying he had a gun in his hands. But at the same time, they're saying they never saw him. So how do they know? And they keep doing that, which I'm like, I think this is where I need to present. Because he wasn't holding a gun.
Objection.
Yep, that's it. So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Winnebank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Gov. You got the picture. It's Nash. Yes, Nash. No question. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Winnebank was not holding a firearm of any description. Eh? You what? Gordon Bennett, that ain't right.
Objection!
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Winterbank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as a murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. Yeah, but they also said they were both holding guns. Yeah, that mole told her was the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun. Bam! Kind of thing. Stay exactly where you are, right there. If the crime had taken place as you colorfully described in your testimony, it would have risen to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out. Goodness! Oh, you sure, Counsel? You intrigue me, my learned friend. Let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where is the proof that demonstrates inconsistency? It's the fact that he had a gunshot to the back. To the back. Where is it? He got shot in the back, my guy. Right here. This. According to the testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shot of "Give me that gun," followed by a gunshot. Indeed, with these two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we have been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now, if the testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy result, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency to your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Sulkin. Yeah! but it's the God's honest truth. It is, Nosh, it is. Thank you, Max, for playing shit. What was the shop last night? The shopkeeper had gone, and we saw with our own bleeding eyes. You said that before you didn't see him. Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Winterbank holding the gun? Something like that. Might have slipped out. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses. Now, on the night in question, they actually saw with their own eyes the victim wielding a gun. Which could only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Sulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Nash, Order! Witnesses, explain yourself at once. The thing is, it wasn't supposed to, It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear these false witnesses. False witness would be the death of you. Ooh? Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies? If so, Sir Governor, truth is, cut it out, Nash! Cut it out! If you blab now, you know, don't do those. He? Who are they talking about? Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There's no other option available to you. Come on, the game's up. But all we got is guts to Virgatas. In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come On the night in question, it's now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify against and to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well, do I have to? On pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. Lord, how many times this is their third time they're gonna be telling us the quote-unquote truth. Alright, so we just went and saw the golf and heaved a sign of relief when the geezer showed up in his mug. Give me that gun, he belled, and then flew at us with the... What? Feels like was possessed. I thought we had it. Fat old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked all over the counter. I pulled the gun on him and said, then legged for the door in the back room. It had nothing to do with the killing. That's all what appeared, I swear. So you're telling us, the moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop? Yeah. Sorry. Well... We find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. But honest, Governor, this time, Nash's time, we ain't got nothing to do to hide. Very well, counsel. For the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. Encounter with the victim. So we got inside the gaff, heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug. Why? When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and proprietor of the shop, Mr. Winterbank? Oh. So I mean, that's right. He was keeping a close eye on the entries of the gaff, obviously. But we never thought no one was gonna come out of the back room like that. The back room being the pawnbrokery storeroom. So funny they use the word geezer. I don't know that, like, is that a terminology that you guys use in the UK? I've like heard of that mainly in like the States, but is that something y'all use? Like, we don't even say that here anymore? Ah, okay. It's like out of date. Ah, I see. Yeah, that must have been where they popped up from. Only a place it could have been. So it would seem that the victim was already in the storeroom when his brothers entered the premises. Which means Jenny must have been there at that point as well. But that doesn't make sense. Well, that doesn't make sense, does it? Gina had threatened Mr. Winbank into the storeroom with her at gunpoint. Then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? Oh, I don't know. Did you see the accused at the time? What? The Mortola? Couldn't tell ya. No way, Cobber. We had a big fish to fry then. I mean, no, Jesus, just lost it. The way that it has continued to lie to their teeth. So he gave me the gun. He bellowed and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we had it. You mentioned that Mr. Winterbank shouted these words in your previous testimony too. However, you claim that you heard them yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door. Oh, did we? But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he? Yeah. Was the victim, Mr. Winterpink, holding a gun at the time? Was he ever? Blimey, Lummy! A great ugly bell had a hit point straight at the front piece. So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Winterpink with a gun at the time. Is that right? It is, Gov, it is. Spot on. Then all of a sudden he came at us. He did. It was Bell then. I didn't even know who was going for who. You were clearly all going for each other. What, nah, Shed? We thought we had it. I mean... He's still sweating, and this guy's not even looking at me. Yes, I noted that you mentioned that the counter in your previous testimony too. Well, yeah, of course we did. We knocked over a load of books and candlestick and some skull whatnot. That got tangled up in the mirror. What knocked over the picture frame and what knocked them scales on the floor. So, in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you. It made you knock those things off the counter. Well, Big Brother was flying all over the counter like a gunshot. I can tell you that. Then old geezer pinned him. You did, Nash, you did. If you hadn't been there, the bloke would have flattened me like a blooming pancake in seconds. So you're telling me he got in a fight? At the time in question, the alarm was raised to the local police station via secret cable from the Plumberry. There's a button under the counter used to activate it, which is presumably pressed by the victim. That's right. When the brothers fled the scene back onto the street, they ran straight into the Raven police, didn't they? Poor Mr. Winterpink. He did everything he could to protect his shop. So I pulled my gun on him, and then he legged it through the door into the back room. Were you intending to shoot Mr. Winterpink? No, never. I was just, you know, looking out for me Butterfoot me. He was being flattened, don't forget. By a man whose shop was being burglared, yes. And then the man fled into the store when you pointed your gun at him, is that? Yeah, that's it. Shoved me away. The man through the door and shut himself in. There's something about the last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true. I wonder why Mr. Winterpink ran away into the storeroom. What? Well, according to what everyone's saying, Ginny was in there waiting for him with a gun. Yes, that's right. Gina allegedly used Mr. Winterpink's gun to threaten him and force him to open the door at the storeroom. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Winterpink's hand again? I have no idea, but it's strange, isn't it? The little inconsistency can be significant. I should make a mental note of this. Look, porn is me above here. That's right, Nash, that's right. Me above here. It had nothing to do with the killing and what all happened. I swear, you're all liars. You pulled a gun on me, which that doesn't. Did he pull a gun at you? Did he? Because they supposedly came in a little bit after 1 o'clock. If they supposedly pulled the gun on... So none of this adds up, but we're gonna try. I don't think this is the clue. But we're gonna try. No, maybe not. It had nothing to do with the killing. That's not That's all what happened, I swear. I didn't press about this. You say you had nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. Nothing, Gov, nothing. The old geezer went and shut himself in the back room, didn't he? Locked it was from the inside. How do you know? We know it was because we tried to open it. Well, it's a decent door, that one. Good and strong, wouldn't budge an inch. So, in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom of the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly shot the victim, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade. Very indeed, Basil. What say you do to that, counsel? I don't know. Was there anybody else apart from Gina who could have possibly have shot Mr. Winterbank? Ooh, I don't have enough evidence to be proving all that. Unless you're trying to say that Sholmes did it. Mr. and Mr. Shulkin. What? What's that look for? From the moment you admitted that you encountered the victim face to face that night, the course of this trial changed completely. It did. What is your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is who could have shot Mr. Winterbank? And it's belief that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. You have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. These are the facts, so pray, what other possible answer could have to the question of who shot the man could there be? Counsel, you must now provide answers to the court in respect to two conundrums. Two, my lord? Test as many chances to be right, maybe? Indeed, namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time? Understood, my lord. Oh, you're right, Reno. I'm not entirely sure, but there's one thing I'm sure about. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely. So now, time for some clarity. Show the courtroom on the plan the answers to the questions proposed by his lordship. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where that person could have fired from the gun. They could have shot him from out here, to be honest. The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from the location here. And in answer to the second question, where was the victim at the time? He could have shot him in here. I mean, here. Culprit shot the victim from the outside the storeroom. Continue. Mr. Winterbank died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired? So you are adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom? Well, according to the Sulkin brothers' earlier testimony, pulled my gun on him. And he legged through that door in the back room. If Mr. Winterbank ran away through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at the time. Ugh! And it was precisely at that moment when the victim was fleeing from his life that these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back while he was inside the storeroom. Duh! Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial? Moving on to define it as the Scotland Yard's coroner, his report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. You're back with toast! Oh boy! Welcome back. Poor man. Shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Ah, of course. What's on your toast, Bex? Some butter, some jam. Occasionally I like to put butter and syrup on mine. Of course. He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. Butter and honey. Ooh. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, he would still have entered his body on an upward trajectory. So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Winterbank.
Objection!
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. You claim the victim was shot as he fled to the room. Do you also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock? But... What if someone else locked the door? Yes, there is someone else who could have locked the door. Is that so? Very well, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. In which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside? It had to be Gina because she was trying to save her life. Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person in the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
That's absurd. You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room? For what possible reason? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck. I am glad you agree, Embassy. Well, counsel. Yes, that's a tricky one, that is, isn't it? Have big notions have no place in my courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please. But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? It does? Well, if I were Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they? Oh yes, obviously. Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Winterbank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at that point, but at some point, Mr. Winterbank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom. Intruders, eh? That's us, bruv. If your theory is correct, they would leave the accused alone in the storeroom. Yes, it would. Then probably only moments later, the victim fled back to the room door hoping to escape danger. Bang. Hit in the back by a bullet, Mr. Winterbank fell to the floor where he was just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves is, what did the defendant have to do in that moment? I see you going with this. Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Winterbank. And as soon as that thought struck through Mr. Slade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life. if we ain't, gotta believe us. I mean, come on. We never shot anyone. That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would. Because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There's only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mr. Shulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have the true perpetrators of Wonderbrick's murder. Yeah. Ah! Where does this leave us? You mean to say that it wasn't the pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all? I should have known it was those brothers. They look so shady as a defense force. That was amazing, Bruno. All the members of the jury seem to be family on your side now. I know, first time ever, and probably the last. Well, I think you've done it. Surely they'll have to give a verdict of not. Ooh, he's laughing! An admirable effort, my learned friend. What's this now? You have more evidence that you've been hiding from us, that you're gonna just magically appear into the court? He's laughing. You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Zieks? I myself find the defense's argument most persuasive. I dare say, such shenanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial Eastern nation. But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pedagogy here. My gosh, the vocabulary. What? The hypothesis you put forward are so obstinately credibly cannot and will not stand. Because you see, it contains a fatal flaw. A fatal flaw? Do you mean to tell me you're unaware of your own logic's failing? I say, Lord Van Zieks, might be the idea to explain your ballet conjuring trick or whatnot to the troops on the ground, The fatal flaw in my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets. By George, count bullets? Oh dear. He noticed then. What's everybody talking about? Counsel. Yes, sir? Tell the court, how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime? 2. 2 bullets. Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back and in his life. And the second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, on his arrival at the scene. Indeed. Defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings. The bullet which had injured Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body and to strike the calendar. Your lordship understanding is correct. Furthermore, we now know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Winterbank, and the Sulkin Brothers revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each. Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes right before your eyes. Yes, I did. Oh my goodness, I think you'll find that if a single bullet was fired from the brother's gun that hits Mr. Sholmes, it means Wonderbrick not shot by the same gun. Stop. Only 1 bullet. Stop. Exactly. Yes, this Japanese street performer presents an extremely credible argument. However, It was never anything more than a visual trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny. Ugh. Wah! Order! 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 Oh, he threw the whole bottle this time. Pray forgive this courtesy of flinging the dregs of this hallowed nectar into the public gallery. Lord Van Zieks. But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can regrettably no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She has a past riddled with a criminal conduct. Timmy, thank you so much for the lurky lurk. I've been having a good day.
Damn, you hit the spot.
Hey.
Taste like candy, sweet like fruit, ooh, wet like water. Can I love on you?
Thank you, Bex, for the hydration. My throat does need it. It's giving out. I actually need to go. I'm trying to find a good spot to stop because my voice is starting to give out. The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbroker on the night in question with a loathsome intent. As we can see beyond doubt in this print, depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence that the prosecution wishes to present. That disc. I'll be taking whatever it is that Mr. McGill down the yard. Thank you. No, don't give it him. It's mine. It's mine. I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to the McGilded has been taken into evidence now. Yes, that music box disc. McGilded's music box disc. The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Winbank, the accused attempted to make off with this article which clearly doesn't belong to her. And with none of the subtlety of the pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impudence. Good gracious. Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is guided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop, if pushed. No crime she would not commit. The court forgets that the fact that is peril. I see. I think it would be pertinent to take this music box disc into evidence, counsel. As a crime dismissed to defend. Whoa, hold on, you didn't let me finish my statement. Lord Van Zieks, Inspector Gregson? What? Yes, Inspector. We had a meeting at the yard yesterday with the prosecution service, and I think it was agreed that this wouldn't be used as evidence. What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Zieks at all. I'm unaware of any such meeting. But those were the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent. Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord. Indeed, bailiff. The prosecution has established the accused's motive, opportunity, and baseness of character. There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case. Gosh dang it. I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once. For all of 5 minutes. Oh dear. It wasn't even 5 minutes, Reno. My lord! Wonder if I might say something at this point. Proceed, Mr. Foreman. Been stumbling around a bit of fog up to now, and truth be told, but all of a sudden, there's this belly office to me and my men. There's only one thing for it. Oh no. Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, will you present your liens as the defendant's culpability?
Guilty.
Oh, Jesus.
Guilty.
No!
Guilty.
No!
Guilty.
Okay, I need to go shower and get ready for work. Okay, Bex. Well, thank you for coming in and hanging out. And thank you again for the bands. I'm probably about to get off myself because I need to get going. Thank you for playing. We have a consensus among the jury, it seems. It ain't over until I say it's over. When you have a limited impulse, whatever remains must be the truth. That's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. How dare he use it against us? Have a good morning, Bex. Thank you for coming by. Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be, because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Winterberg. That's beyond any doubt. Very well. We will proceed with the second examination of the day. Mr. Foreman, are you any of the jury's ready? Cap Scarman is primed and ready for action, sir. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, will you each explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty? Okay. We gotta stop here, guys. I really need to get off and go to bed. It's already so late. Okay, let me read the court record real quick. What I really want is to get this blood sample, because I feel like that's gonna match up with our samples. Oh, Bruno, look! This is blood! Yes, you're right. This is a small smear, but definitely blood. Actually, it feels like I might have noticed that before. This is my time to shine again. I thought I'd been waiting forever. Alright, hold still with that disc, Bruno. Can we get this done quickly, Iris? In a flash. In a flash. Is it gonna be purple? It's green! Oh, a lovely bright shade again. Wait, that color. What is it? It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? No, it's not. So it wasn't the, we still don't know who the mystery green color is, so we're assuming it's, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, but it's not the Mason guy, because that's what they were assuming that color is from. It's not his blood. Bum, bum, bum. Alright, well, let me go ahead and save. Oops. My throat is on fire. Okay, we're gonna save there. And we gotta get skedaddle out of here, because it's time to go to bed. Because we gotta work in the morning. Let's see. Is there anybody we can read? Normally I would just raid out, guys, but I think we're just gonna call it a night, because I feel bad if I go and raid somebody and then not be awake for long enough to say anything to them. So we'll raid on next time that we're here, but thank you all again for coming and hanging out, whether you're here, whether you're lurking. I really do appreciate it all. And thank you again to Redberry for the rainy raid. Let me give her a shout out one more time. One time for the one time. I will be back on Saturday for some more shenanigans, some more fun. In the meantime, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and most likely we'll see you all again in somebody else's chat. But if I don't, I'll see you back on Saturday. And otherwise, have a good night, have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.